Hello friends, good morning and welcome to this class. I hope you remember what we discussed in the last class. We said about what the Indian government fixed, that how much a person requires to meet his daily requirement of food. If he gets that money, then he is above poverty line. If he fails to get that much money, then he is below poverty line. Or we saw in the international level by the World Bank what is the requirement for a person to meet his daily requirement, that is $1 per day. If he is able to get that much money, then he can manage his daily affairs or his food. That is how they calculate it. Now let us see how to do the estimation of the poverty, how to calculate the poverty level and so on. So it is clear from the table 3.1. So there is a table given in the 3.1. We can see the poverty ratio in the different parts of the country. People who are living in the urban area, in the rural area, what is the poverty ratio? So in 73-74, you can see the rural it was 56.4 and in urban it was 49.0. Then together it was 54.9. Then in the rural area it was the number of poor in millions. So there were 261 millions poor people in the rural area, and in the urban area 60 millions, and combined it was 321 million poor people were there in India. But then after 20 years, when it reached 93-94, the situation there is improvement is there. From 56.4 it came down to 37.3. Then in 99-2000 there is improvement again. It came down again. It became 21.1. Then in the urban area also there is improvement. It is coming down from 49. It became 32. Then it became 23 and so on. Then combined together, both urban and rural together, the poverty ratio is also improving. From 54.9 it came down to 36, then it came down to 26 again. The number of poor people also is coming down. We can see some places it is coming down and some places it is increasing. So here in the rural area it was 261, it came to 244, then it became 193. But in the urban area we find it is increasing. So in the 73-74 it was 60 million poor people were there in the urban area. But after 20 years it is increasing. 60 became 76 million. So there is increase. Then it came down little bit again. So the urban area, the number of poor people are increasing, and combined we can see it was 321, then it became 320. So there is no much reduction, just 1 billion only reduced after 20 years. Then it came down to 260 and so on. So that is the situation in India. People living in the rural area or urban area, the number of poor people are still very high, they are not coming down. So based on this table 3.1, we can see there is a substantial decline in poverty ratios in India from 55% in 1973 to 36% in 1993. So there is in the ratio there is a little bit of decline is there. The proportion of people below poverty line further came down to about 26% in 2000. So the poverty ratio is coming down still. If the trend continues, people below poverty line may come down to less than 20% in the next few years. So if this kind of development is continuing, then more and more people will go above the poverty line and the poor people's number will come down, and it may reach even up to 20%. Although the percentage of the people living under poverty declined in the earlier two decades, that is 1973 to 1993, the number of poor remained stable around 320 million for a fairly long period. So, though the ratio is coming down, the number of poor people is not coming down. It was 321 billion, and after 20 years it was reduced to 320. So there is no much substantial reduction in the number of poor people living in our country. Then the latest estimates indicate a significant reduction in the number of poor to about 260 million. But after 10 years again, when we checked, we can find from 320 it came down to 260. So almost 60 million people were raised above the poverty line. So there is a decline is there, but in the first 20 years there is hardly any decline in the number of our poor people. So that is about the poverty ratio in our country, how to see the development. If the number of poor people are reduced, then we can say the country is growing, the economy is growing, people are becoming richer. And if the ratio is not increasing, that means our country is not developing. Economically, it continues to remain poor. Now let us see, before we studied about vulnerability, now let's see who are the people that is possible to become poor, or who are the people who are vulnerable, that vulnerable groups. Let us see. Vulnerable groups of people who may become poor. The proportion of people below poverty line is also not same for all social groups and economic categories in India. Social groups which are almost vulnerable to poverty are scheduled castes and scheduled tribe households. We can underline who are the people in India who are vulnerable to become poor. They are scheduled castes and scheduled tribe households. Similarly, among the economic groups, the most vulnerable groups are the rural agricultural labor households and the urban casual households. So in the urban area, who are the people who may become the rural areas? Similarly, among the economic groups, the most vulnerable groups are the rural agricultural labor households and the urban casual labor households. So, who are the other people who are vulnerable to become poor? If you look at the economic level, they are the workers, the agricultural labor households, people who are working in the agricultural field, because they don't have work every time, therefore there is a tendency or they are vulnerable to become poor. Then also urban casual labor, people who are working in the city, in the construction, in the other places working, they don't have work every day. Whenever there is work only they get chance. So sometimes they do not have work and therefore they may suffer the job loss, they may suffer from a lack of work, and so that also will lead them to this poverty. And the following graph 3.1 shows the percentage of poor people in all these groups. Although the average for people below poverty line for all groups in India is 26, 51 out of 100 people belonging to scheduled tribes are not able to meet their basic needs. So, in India we have found out that the poverty line for all groups in India is 26. So 26 people are below poverty line. Out of 100, 26 people are below poverty line. If you take the average of all the Indians, every 100 people, 26 people are below poverty line. But if you take only the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes, then we see 51 people are poor. Out of 100, 51% of the people are poor. That means the poverty line or poverty is existing more severely among the tribals, among the scheduled castes and so on. And although the average for people below poverty line in India is 26, 51 out of 100 people belonging to scheduled tribes are not able to meet their basic needs. So these 51 people out of 100 among the scheduled castes and scheduled tribe, they are not able to meet their daily needs. Similarly, 50% of casual workers in urban areas are below poverty line. So if you consider the people who are working as a casual laborers, not permanent labor, just as a casual labor, then half of them are not able to meet their daily needs. So they are also under poverty line. Then 43% of the scheduled castes are also poor. So people who are working as casual laborers, among them 43% of them are also living a poor life. The double disadvantage of being a landless casual wage labor household in the socially disadvantaged social groups of scheduled caste or scheduled tribe population highlights the seriousness of the problem. So when we see that out of 100, every 50 people or 51 people or 43 people, that is a big number. So much of people are poor in our country. So that number reveals that how serious is the problem of poverty. So government will have to really work hard in order to uplift these people, in order to provide good facility for these people, so that they will be able to overcome the poverty, the vulnerability and so on. And you can see what we have already said, you can see in the form of graph. So the scheduled tribes, 51% of them are living under poverty. Then urban casual laborers, 50 of them are living under poverty. Then rural agricultural laborers, they are living, 47 of them are living under poverty. Then scheduled caste people, 43% of them are living under poverty line. Then average Indian poverty ratio is 26. If you take all the Indians together, average 26% of the Indian population is living under poverty line. So it is a very serious situation, alarming situation, and they are vulnerable still more. If the government does not take care properly, then more and more people will become poor, especially in this season of lockdown, where people have lost their job, people who have migrated to other places for their jobs, they all have to return back their home because of this COVID-19, and the economy is going to be in very dry situation, very poor situation, and the people will continue to suffer, continue to become poor. They'll find difficult to meet their daily affairs, daily managements and so on. So more and more people may be now possible to become poor. So government has to take some extra care. Then some recent studies have shown that except for the scheduled tribe households, all the other three groups, that is scheduled castes, rural agricultural laborers and the urban casual labor households, have seen a decline in poverty in 1990. So if you see at that graph, we find that only one group, they are not declining, they continue to remain poor, but in all other groups there is improvement of poverty. Which is that group which is continuing to remain? That is a scheduled tribe household. They continue to remain poor, more poor, but other tribes or other groups, there is little bit of improvement is there. Apart from these social groups, there is also inequality of incomes within a family. So we said about the social groups, the scheduled castes, the scheduled tribes, and the the untouchables, all these how they are affected in the society. And apart from that, even within a family we can see there is a lot of discrimination is there. Income inequality, for example, in poor families all suffer, but some suffer more than the others. So in the poor families all are suffering, almost all the members are suffering, but all are not equally suffering. Some people have got little more, some people have got a little less, and so on. For example, let us see, women, elderly people, and female infants are systematically denied equal access to resources available to the family. So, if there is an income in the family, how that income will be divided, or how the food will be divided? Will it be equally divided? Some people will be getting more, and normally the women and the children they are getting less food. The men or the sons they will be eating more. So, there is inequality. Or the income of the family, it will not be spent equally. The some may be given to, for example, son may be given chance to go to school and study, and the girls may not be allowed to go to school because there is not enough money for both. So the son will be given preference, the girl will be allowed to sit at home and look after the younger ones, clean the house, and so on. So there is a lot of inequality is there. So therefore, women, children, especially the girl child, and all people are poorest of the poor. So, even in a family, we can see, though it is a poor family, all the members are not equally poor. Some people are more poor, like women, girl children, all people, they are all more poor. They get very little share of the family income. Now, let's see about a story of a person called Sivaraman. He is a poor man, and let's see how he is managing his family with the little income that he has. So Shivaraman lives in a small village near Karur town in Tamil Nadu. Karur is famous for its handloom and powerloom fabrics. So Karur is a famous city where a lot of textile industries are there. A lot of weaving is there, handloom with the handloom and powerloom. What is powerloom? The machine that is running with power, electric power. So there are 100 families in the village, and Shivaraman and Aryunthya, that is cobbler by caste, now works as an agricultural laborer for rupees 50 per day. So actually he is a cobbler, but sitting there he is not getting enough money to manage his family. Therefore he started working as an agricultural laborer, and he gets 50 rupees per day. But that is only for 5 to 6 months in a year. So agriculture is not there throughout the year. Sometimes 5 months, 6 months, then there is harvesting is over and no more work in the field. Then at other times he does odd jobs in the town. His wife Sachigala too works with him, but she can rarely find work these days, and even if she does, she is paid rupees 25 per day for the same work that Shivaraman does. So sometimes his wife also will go with him and work with him. So Shivaraman is getting 50 rupees, and his wife also is doing same work, working in the same time, but she is paid only half. She is paid only just half of what Shivaraman is paid. So we see they are doing the same work, but payment is different. So women are paid less. And there are 8 members in the family. So their family is a big family. There are 8 members, and in a day they get is only 75 rupees. Shivaraman gets 50 rupees, his wife gets 25 rupees. Sometimes when they have no work, they don't get anything. And Shivaraman's 65-year-old widowed mother is ill and needs to be helped with her daily chores. So his mother is 65 years old and she is sick, and therefore she cannot do work by himself. She cannot walk by herself, and therefore somebody has to help her. So he has a 25-year-old unmarried sister and 4 children aged between 1 year to 16 years. So his sister also is 25-year-old and she has not yet married, maybe because they have no money for the marriage expenses, so she is still remaining at home. And he also has got children, 4 children, and the eldest one is 16 years old. Three of them are girls, and the youngest is a son. None of the girls go to school. Buying books and other things for school-going girls is a luxury he cannot afford. Since he is very poor, not enough money even to buy foods, he cannot think about buying textbooks and notebooks and other things for the children to go to school. Therefore, nobody is going to school, all are remaining at home. Also, he has to get them married at some point of time, so he doesn't want to spend on their education now. Another thing he says, after some time they will get married, the girls will get married and they will go to other family. So what is the use of educating them? They are not going to help the family, they will help the family of their husband. Therefore, he is thinking that way. Why to waste money on these girls? They are going to their husband's family afterwards, so they are not spending money. His mother has lost interest in life and is just waiting to die someday. He said his mother is sick and 65-year-old and she has lost interest in her life. Therefore, she is just remaining time to waiting for the time to die. And his sister and his elder daughter take care of the household. Sivaraman plans to send his son to school when he comes of age. His unmarried sister does not get along with his wife. Sashigala finds her a burden, but Sivaraman can't find a suitable groom due to lack of money. And again there is family problem. His sister and his wife, they are fighting all the time. They are fighting each other, so there is no peace in the family. And his sister cannot get married because there is no money to pay dowry or to arrange to meet other expenses of the marriage and so his sister is continuing to stay in the house, and every day she and her sister-in-law, they are fighting each other. Although the family has difficulty in arranging 2 meals a day, Sivaraman manages to buy milk once in a while, but only for his son. So we see, earlier we saw in the family the income is not spent equally. So here we see Sivaraman, he loves his son more. He is trying to send him to school and he is trying to buy milk once in a week and give it to his son. So son is getting more than all the others. So that is how the family also, the income or the facilities available, that is not equally distributed. Some people get more, some people get less. That is the situation in the rural families, because they don't have enough. They try to somehow help one member of the family so that he or she will be able to get better, get good health, get a good education, and able to help the family in the future. That is the calculation that they are doing. Now there is lot of disparities, lot of differences are there between the states. Let's see that. The interstate disparities. Interstate disparities. The disparity means the differences between states. One state may be better, another state may be very poor. So the differences between different states. So poverty in India also has another aspect or dimension. The proportion of poor people is not same in every state. Some states has got more poor people, some have got less poor people. Although the state level poverty has witnessed a secular decline from levels of early 70s, the success rate of reducing poverty varies from state to state. So, as a whole, when we look in India, the poverty is declining, coming down. But when we look at state level, the poverty has not reduced much. Recent estimates show that in 20 states and union territories, the poverty ratio is less than the national average. So, the poverty ratio is less than the national average in 20 states and union territories. That means they are better, they are richer. 20 states and union territories, they are growing richer, they are improving. And on the other hand, poverty is still a serious problem in Odisha, Bihar, Assam, Tripura and Uttar Pradesh. But some states, they have got higher poverty rate. What are the states? Assam, Orissa, Bihar, Tripura and Uttar Pradesh. So as the graph 3.2 shows, Orissa and Bihar continue to be the two poorest states with poverty ratios of 47 and 43% respectively. So it is very high in Orissa and Bihar. The poverty rate is very high. So in Orissa it is 47 out of 100, 47 people are poor. Then in Bihar 43 out of 100, 43 people are poor. So it is very high. Along with rural poverty, urban poverty is also high in Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. So states like Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, both poverty is high. Rural area as well as in the urban area, the town and in the village, everywhere the poverty is very high, these states. So in comparison, there has been a significant decline of poverty in Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and West Bengal. So some other states like Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat and West Bengal, the poverty has declined, it has become less. States like Punjab and Haryana have traditionally succeeded in reducing poverty with the help of high agricultural growth rates. So states like Haryana and Punjab, they are able to overcome their poverty because of high rate of agricultural production. They have improved their agricultural production, therefore there is enough food for all the people, enough work for all the people. They can work and get money and they are able to overcome the poverty in their states, Haryana and Punjab. And Kerala has focused more on human resource development. So states like Kerala, they are focusing on human resource development. That means providing good health, good food, good sanitation, good education. Those things are provided so that people are able to overcome their poverty. Then in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, public distribution of food grains could have been responsible for the improvement. So states like Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, there is PDS, public distribution system. So government is supplying food at a lower rate through the ration shops or through fair price shops, so that even the poor people will be able to come and buy that food and able to overcome their poverty. They are able to have a good meal with a low rate. So government helps them, government provides them, so that the poverty line is raised or the ratio of poverty is increased and people are becoming rich. So now the poverty has declined in these days because the government has helped them through the PDS shops by distributing grains and other food grains, wheat, rice, oil, all those things are distributed for a lower price. Therefore, people are something to eat. They are able to have good health by having good food and so on. So that is how some places, some states have come up in growing up and reduce the poverty, and some states it is declining more and more or the poverty is increasing because the government is not able to do anything there, neither provide employment, nor provide human resource development, nor provide good education. So nothing government is doing, therefore the people continue to suffer, continue to remain poor. So we see from state to state it is different. Some states are highly growing up and developing, and some states the poverty is increasing, the people becoming poorer and poorer. Some states have developed agriculture facilities, therefore they are able to overcome that food shortage and they are able to become rich. Some people they are just lagging behind. not able to do anything, so the poor people continue to remain poor. So that is the situation in India, overall situation in India. Some states are doing very well, some states are not able to do well. So we shall wind up today and we will begin again, we'll continue again in the next class, and we'll see in the global level, all India level we saw how the people are poor. Now we shall see all over the world, the global scenario, the whole world, what is the situation of poverty, what the world is doing to overcome poverty, and so we shall see in the next class. So have a nice day. Bye. See you in the next thing.